So what we are going to do today, we are actually going to learn the next emerging field in the artificial intelligence, which is known as generative AI. So our agenda will going to be the same, which we discussed yesterday, but just for your reference, I'm putting it again here. So we are going to get started with generative AI. Why generative AI? How it came? Why DL cannot do the things for us? What's the actual difference between ML, DL, and generative AI? Right? How it is different than entire ecosystem which we have so far. Now, again, in order to get generative AI, we need to have certain architectures in place, and transformer architecture is one of them. So whatever we see with generative AI, whatever new content we see with generative AI, it is all because of transformer architecture. So transformer architecture under the hood is actually doing all these things for us. Then there are core GenAI models. So you will hear terms like GANs, VAEs, FMs, LLMs, RAG. So we are going to understand what all these terms are. Then obviously GenAI toolset, again, will focus on the popular one, though there are a list of endless applications nowadays. Again, to get a best result out of your inputs, we need to understand the prompting. So prompt engineering is very useful in order to get the accurate results. Then there will be many simple hands-on demos. And once simple hands-on demos are done, then what we are going to do is we are going to build our own chatbot. Because there are many organizations, they don't use publicly available chatbots like ChatGPT. What they are doing is they are building their own chatbot, either for their own information, their own products, and whatever compliance they have. So what we are going to do is I'll try to give you two different examples. One example, we are going to build a commercial chatbot, wherein we are going to leverage AWS Bedrock services. And then what I'll do is I'll even try to demonstrate you, the open source Gemini APIs, which is Google Gemini, and we'll try to build our chatbot. Even we are also working on building our own chatbot using Google Gemini. So I have just created a smaller version of that so that I can demonstrate you that how your own chatbots can be created, and then you can use it anywhere for your personal websites, for your organization, in case if you have separate teams, separate data, which you don't want to share with someone. And instead of going to the wiki, you want someone to have a, graphical interface and, do the quick search. Probably in such cases, you can build your own chatbots. And then finally, we'll be having risks and ethical considerations. Now, before we get started, let us come back and quickly check what we have done so far. Now, what we did yesterday, we started with a bigger ecosystem. We started with something called AI. Now, when you talk about AI, as I told you yesterday also, just for your reference, you can think of AI as the entire world. Everything is AI. Either it is ML or DL, everyone will going to talk about AI. This is AI. For a layman, it is just an AI. Under AI, you have something called machine learning. So you can say machine learning is a subset of AI. That's the reason when AI started initially, we always hear ML and AI or AI and ML because they are completely interdependent on each other. You can think of ML as a country, like we understood yesterday. And then when data set become more and more complex, right, we need more algorithms because we want a faster execution. If the execution is slower, definitely if it is giving the accurate results also, but it will not going to make sense to us. And to incorporate that particular, disadvantage or particular limitation of complex data and complex representation, the ANNs, artificial neural network, comes into a picture. And artificial neural networks actually gave something to us, which is called DL, deep learning, right? So I'll come here and inside ML, we have a subset and that subset is called DL. You can think of DL as a state or let's say a city. Simple. Now, when we talk about AI, ML, DL, we are all talking about predictions. Many use cases, which we discussed yesterday as well, right? Image recognition, driverless cars, recommendation systems, weather forecasting, stock market, fraud detection, right? Many other, right? So those all use cases are for ML or DL. Now, when you talk about ML and DL, it is doing a prediction. So we are having a large data, right? Absolutely large data. And that too refined, because we have, during the preparation, we have cleaned the data. So we have a large data. Now the question comes, can we use this data in DL or ML and generate a new set of data? The answer is absolutely no. ML and DL, they are doing predictions. They are not having any capabilities to generate new data out of whatever data they have. It's impossible. Then people, the scientists, the techie people like you, they started thinking, we have data, why can't we create a similar original data? And this is where a new era started, and that era is called generative AI. Gen AI. This Gen AI, you can think of this as any place, let's say any street. It's going to be a part of either DL or ML and eventually going to fall under AI ecosystem. In future, we might see something else here. We might see something else here. We might see something else here. Right? But at present point in time, there are only four things: AI, ML, DL, and generative AI. So now generative AI. Generative, this word is automatically giving us the definition of generative AI. Generative AI means generating new content. Generate new content. That content can be text. That content can be an image or an image. It can be a video. It can be audio, or it can be anything. With data, whatever you can generate using generative AI automatically. This is where Gen AI came into a picture. So Gen AI is nothing. Generative AI is just to produce a new data. But data will come from somewhere, right? It will automatically will not be there. It will come from somewhere. You need to refine that data. And hence, you are always going to rely upon machine learning and DL here. So data will always going to come from here. And then generative AI and the algorithms of generative AI will going to do the magical thing for us. They will do the prediction of next word, next image, similar image, and going to create or generate a new data for us. This is a major difference between MLDL and generative AI. ML and DL, they are not capable of generating new data. And hence, that's the reason there was a need of a new branch within AI. And that branch is actually known as generative AI. So generative AI is for end users. Simple. We are interested in getting data, new data, writing an email, writing a poem, writing a song, creating a new image, creating our own logos, searching or querying something which is there in the PDFs or in the large data set, right? All such things you are going to actually do using generative AI. So generative AI means generate a new content. So generative AI is a subset of AI, definitely, because it falls under AI. Or you can say it's a subset of ML or DL, which actually is capable of generating new content for us. Very simple example, which I'm sure every one of you might be using, right? But ChatGPT, what do you do? You write there, what is generative AI? It will going to give you the answer. You will ask, what is containers? It will give you the answer. What is cloud? It will give you the answer. Can you tell me about brief about Amazon Bedrock service? It will give you the answer. What it is doing, it is generating a data for you, right? Another example, it's just simple. You are just querying and checking the things. Create a new poem for me. Let's say my daughter is turning 3. I give this example, so I'm just using that or referring that. Let's say you say my daughter is turning 3 can you please write a poem for me? So what it will do, it will actually going to generate new words, new poems, and give it to you. And then you can use it. Perfect. 5, 7 years ago, no one would have think to become a poet. But with ChatGPT or other tools, within seconds, you can become a poet. Right? So you can generate new data and you can use that data for your own reference. Right? This is how and why generative AI came into a picture. So if I come here, see here, this is GenAI. So generative AI. And when we talk about why GenAI, as I told you, to create new content, you need something which cannot be taken care by ML or DL. So in order to generate new content, you have to have a new branch within AI. And that branch is actually called generative AI. As simple. Now, how easy it is, because from end user perspective, we think it's very easy. But trust me, it's not that easy as we think. So who made this easy for us? Actually, it have been made by something called transformers. Transformers are nothing. They are the new development in the machine learning. Now which are making a lot of noise now. 2017, this entire transformer architecture or transformer development came into a picture. And then it have completely revolutionized the entire world. Now, before I jump into a transformer architecture, let me give you one very simple example to understand DL and generative AI or ML and generative AI. Now, what we do when we talk about writing a message from our phone or even nowadays in email also, you write how are, and then what happens is on your WhatsApp screen, you will see the predictions. Your, our. So you will get prediction, the best words which you can use, correct? Just raise your hands if you agree to it. Let's say you are typing a message from your WhatsApp. You will see predictions, correct? Now that prediction, that is not generative AI. That prediction is DL, deep learning. Now think about it. You're writing however, and automatically the best possible word which is used 99% of the time when you are asking how are, and automatically it is getting written and sentence is getting completed. If that happens, that becomes generative AI. So when we talk about our WhatsApp or emails, we are using deep learning. Once a time will come that automatically it will going to put the words there, how are you? Or I always give example of writing a story. So once upon a time, so you are saying write a story once upon a time, automatically it's coming once upon a time. So when automatically those words, those sentences are getting created for you, that will become generative AI. Very simple. So you can relate things like this. DL, your WhatsApp. And when the things are getting auto-completed automatically, you can do it. So Fanny have asked question, ChatGPT is deep learning. In a real term, you can say yes, because the data is coming from deep learning only. But that data is actually getting transformed using transformer architecture so that it can generate new words for you. And hence, that's the reason we say it's a different branch of AI ecosystem, which is called generative AI. But under the hood, you're absolutely right. You talk about any tool, they need data, and data will come from either DL or ML. So what we do is we take that data and we put some architecture in between to use that data and generate a new content out of it. So after deep learning, the transformer architecture will come. Data input will come. Transformer architecture will automatically generate new content for you. And then via the interface of ChatGPT, you are going to get the answers. This is how this ecosystem works. They all are interconnected with each other. The entire AI ecosystem. Now, let's come and understand what is transformer architecture. Very important. Now, it's not mandatory uh, for the end users to understand it, but it's always good to have this understanding. Now, what happens? Now, let's say you are giving a prompt, very simple prompt. I read this example once somewhere and I use this example. It's a very simple example. Let's say you gave a prompt called, let's say, write a story and question mark. I'm just taking a simple example. Though it's not a good prompt. We should tell what type of story we want to create and so on and so forth. But here I'm just writing, write a story for me. Now what happens actually? This is a prompt. This prompt will going to go into a transformer architecture. The first stage of transformer architecture is to tokenize this prompt. So what it will do? It will do tokenization. This is the first step in transformer architecture. Tokenization. In tokenization, what happens? What will happen is your architecture will break each and every word, including punctuations, special characters, and so on and so forth. So it will, what it will do is it will create something like this. Write a story. And if I have a question mark or any special character, it will take that also as a token. So this is tokenization. So first thing it will going to do is it will actually going to do a tokenization. This is all happened using transformer architecture. In ChatGPT, the work is done. You have given this all done. Under the hood, tokenization is happening. Now, once tokenization is happened, now what happened is the first step is done. So we know the context now. After that, the second stage will come. First stage is done. The second stage will come. The second stage is called embedding. When we talk about embedding, what happens? A list of numbers will be created. A list of number. Those list of numbers are called vectors. Right? Those are called vectors. Example, this right. Let me take. Some number will be allocated to it. Similarly, some number will be allocated here. Similarly, some number will be allocated here and number will be allocated here. Right? Let's say 1, 2, 5, 4, some number. This is called embedding, means list of numbers will be created. Once list of number will be created, the next thing will come. Now, actually, the next thing come because there is a problem. Now, what happened? Let's say some of the words are having a same number. Just giving you a problem statement. Some number, some of these tokens are having similar numbers because there are similar words. Example A. Again, A came. Then it will going to get, let's say 2. Now, because of this, what happens is whenever a new data is getting generated, there will be positional differences. Example, how are you? I am fine. Let's say. If similar characters are coming, similar words are coming, they are having similar vectors allocated to it. Now, what happens is there will be a confusion in creating the right answers. It might take, how are you? I am fine. Or it will reverse it. I am fine. How are you? I am fine. How are you? Because data is huge. In order to mitigate this problem, right, so that the words and sentences should not get swapped, the another layer in the transformer architecture was embedded, and that is called positional encoding. Positional encoding. Now, when we talk about positional encoding, what it does, it actually position the words for us so that we should not get, confusions like this. The machine learning or the artificial intelligence should not get confusion like this. So what it will actually going to do, it will actually going to position things like this. So it will be having right, it's having vector 1, it's A, it is having vector 2. Then there is story, it is having vector 5 or number 5. And then we are having question mark, it is having 4. Right? And once this part is done, now the magic will come. Now the transformer block will come. Fourth part. Transformer block. Till here, we are not generating any data. Data will be actually generated by transformer block. And there will be multiple example. You are saying, write a story for me in 100 words. There might be 100 transformers because they are creating single word for you. So there will be a chain of transformer blocks. And transformer blocks are consist of two things. One is called attention and one is called feed forward. And this is the answer to a question which Fanny have asked. So Fanny, when you talk about this feed forward is nothing. This is neural network, the data. This is ANN. Just for your reference. And hence you ask ChatGPT is deep learning in a way. Yes, it is, because it is actually creating new sentences from ANN only, right? So there will be multiple such blocks. Attention, feed forward, attention, feed forward, multiple. Attention, feed forward. Now, doing, you are saying write a story. Now what they are going to do is they are going to every block will going to get the best word which is used worldwide from trillions of data and going to create a list of those data. Example, whenever someone is writing a story, majority of the time it starts from once and then the next is there, and let's say the next is when, let's say. So it will create a list. First block will going to create the best word with which the story will start. And then what it will do is it will give or assign it a number, a priority. Let's say priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. And then this will be forwarded to the next one. What will be the next best character, right? The next transformer block will come into a picture and it will say upon, let's say on, let's say in, and then again the priority will come. Similarly, this chain will go until the entire story is written. And then what will happen? Now we got the best words. And then this entire thing will be forwarded to the next part, the fifth part, which is called softmax. Now softmax layer, what it will do? It will validate whatever is coming is correct or not. And then what it will do is it will validate, yes, this is the most used word and having a maximum priority. Then it will take the next one. Then it will take the next one. Then it will take the next one. And what it will do is it will write a story for you. Once upon a time, there was a lion or a lion, right? And likewise, tuck, 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 entire story will be done. And finally, what we are going to do is we are going to get everything on our GUI, on our outputs. So every time you are giving a prompt, this is actually what is happening. So again, just to reiterate, tokenization, your prompt will be tokenized. Then embedding will happen. The numbers, list of numbers will be created, which is called vectors. Then the positional encoding will be done so that we should not have reversal, right? And then finally, the things will go to a transformer block. There will be multiple transformer blocks. Those transformer blocks are composed of two different parts. One is called attention, one is called feed forward. Now, feed forward is nothing, it is actually your neural network. Now, the main function of transformer block is to get the best word for your prompt. So it will create a list of few words. Now this again few words, again few words. And then finally it will going to give it to the softmax. And then softmax will going to validate and prioritize and check, yes, this is right. And will start writing once upon a time. And then you are going to get that output in your uh, interface, in your graphical interface, or in your CLI interface, and so on and so forth. This is how the entire architecture works. In fact, there is another thing also. Sometimes what some of the custom products do, they do a post training also to validate whatever is coming is correct or not. And this is ongoing process, right? Whatever is written is correct or not. Or if they want to change anything, they inject their own data sets also. So there might be another step, which is called step number 6, which is called post training, right? So that the improvement of your generative AI component or generative AI application can be even more appropriate. Right. So this is just for your reference so that you can understand, okay, it's not that ChatGPT is magical or any GPT is magical. Under the hood, they are using transformer architecture. Same thing is used in Amazon Bedrock. If you going to go to read the documentation of Amazon Bedrock, you will see terms like tokens, embedding, positional encoding, transformer block. So you will see these things, FM models, and so on and so forth. It means you talk about any backend and under the hood, they all are using transformer architecture. They might tweak it a bit, but the entire functioning will going to remain the same. Right? So this is how ChatGPT actually works. Perfect. Now we'll come next to the ecosystem. Now question comes, why GenAI? Why do we need generative AI? Now again, it increased efficiency. Now how it increased efficiency? People think that generative AI may, take people away. But trust me, it's not like that because you need people. People are definitely required. Now, what those people can do, those people can take an advantage of generative AI to help them to streamline their work and save a lot of time. Example, when automation came in IT industry, a very simple example, tools like Ansible, Puppet, Chef, SaltStack, right, CF Engine, such kind of tools came, people were actually thinking the L1 jobs will go, the L2 jobs will go, but it didn't happen, right? Because when you are writing something, you need people to maintain it also. Have to run the playbook, someone have to rectify the playbook, someone have to write the roles, rectify the roles. New applications are coming, new roles will develop, new playbooks will develop, new Puppet modules will develop, new cookbooks for chef will develop, new salt tree formulas will develop. So this will going to be endless work. The only thing is we need to learn new technologies and we need to adapt to them. That's it. Rest all of the things will going to remain same, right? Likewise, when you talk about generative AI, how it can increase our efficiency. Now think about a product company, and that product company is investing 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months in project or product documentation, right? So in such cases, they can leverage generative AI. They can create a basic skeleton and then refine that using generative AI. Second example, now legal. Now, legal documentation is one of the most complicated documentations, right? Everyone knows that. Now, it might help legal consultants. They can draft things, right? And then they can make it more appropriate, validate it from their own experience, and then give it to their clients. So you will get some virtual friend which can help you to write things in appropriate way, and validation will definitely going to be on you because we cannot trust the content which has been created by a software, especially when there are a lot of a lot of buzz going around those, example biasing, right, and so on and so forth. So but yes, definitely it will help us in increasing our efficiency, so we will going to save a lot of time, and that time can be invested in doing many other productive work. Next is scalability. Now think about a social media company or about a company who is a marketing company or a company who writes content for multiple customers. Now they have 10 people and they have to write, let's say, 100 blogs, and that too from the data which client is giving to them. It will be very difficult for them to actually write and validate it and get it approved and then publish it. Very tough. In such cases, generative AI can be a best friend. So you have a data, you put that data, create something out of it, validate that from your experience, change those words because it's always a best practice not to use whatever we are getting. Just rectify it so that everyone can understand it from a human perspective as well. Once that is done, all done. So the scalability will definitely going to increase with generative AI. Creativity. Now, no AI tool can replace humans in creativity, that is for sure. But you can get more ideas. Example, you are, let's say, let's take an example of an artist. So an artist is drawing a painting. He's having something in his mind, in his brain, and he's just putting that thing into a sketch. Now he can take generative AI as his friend, and then it might, whatever is in his mind, he can, or he or her can check or ask for more inputs from the tools like GenAI. And what will happen, there might be couple of points which he haven't think about, and the generative AI have suddenly populated that for us, so he can incorporate those points and even create a master piece out of it. So lot of artists are using generative AI nowadays. Innovation, definitely. Now, when you talk about innovation, you have an idea, but you don't know. Again take a simple example. Let's say we are in a college and we are in a third semester and we got an assignment to create a project. Now, from third year perspective, a college student perspective, even writing a small Python application is a big task for us because we don't have any exposure to it. So what you can do is you probably can use GenAI for that. And who knows, whatever idea you have, that kind of application is missing in the industry. And that particular small application can take a big form and revolutionize the entire industry. So you can give your ideas, check with GenAI. It's just like talking to a friend. And then finally, we have tailored content. This is something which many of the people are using. Creating emails, summarization, even in tools like Zoom or many other tools, you can have a summary. As soon as your call is ended, you are going to get the entire summarization. Super cool. That's the reason now platforms like Zoom and many other, they say we are AI enabled platforms. This is what they do. They record everything and then they put that in the engine, and that they just write, summarize this, and it will create a summarization. They validate it basis on their post training model, and then they email it to you, all done. Good, but bad also, because we are not learning anything. Now I am teaching Gen AI, but yes, I would say don't completely depend upon Gen AI, because if you will not apply your brain, maybe after 10 years, we will be entirely dumb. So use generative AI as a reference, not as a complete dependency. Trends. Now, again, when we talk about upcoming trends, there are many things wherein Gen AI is making a lot of noise. Now, the first and foremost is art and creativity. Now, when you talk about artists, music, video creation, you know, again, the pictures, paintings, Gen AI is creating a lot of buzz there, lot of buzz. Many people are using it. Many artists are using it. The next one is simulation and virtual environment. This is one of the best examples. This is something which is useful. This was the need of an hour, I must say. Now think about a doctor. Just think about a doctor. 10, 15 years back, it was all books. What they do, they read from books. So they have big, long, huge books. They read from it, understand everything, right? Now think about it. There is a doctor, and that doctor is not having any practical exposure. And think about it that you are lying on a bed and that doctor is coming who have read everything from a book and going to operate you. Will you feel comfortable? Just raise your hands if you will not feel comfortable. A new doctor who just read books and become a doctor, and he is coming to operate someone. He's not having any practical exposure, right? It will be very difficult. Our confidence level will be very less, right? Now think about it now. Let's say there is a doctor, means upcoming doctor, right? From doctor stream. He's reading books, and what he is doing from those books, he's having simulation or simulated environment. Example, there is a simulation there is a body, and on that body, they are actually virtually testing that how things will going to work. How should we operate? Which vein we have to pick up, which vein we have to stitch, and so on and so forth. And they are learning from virtual environment, live, and they are doing all those things. And now such kind of people, such kind of new doctors who are having a book understanding, right? And they have the experience from simulated environment also. If such doctors come and they operate a human or operate anyone, definitely our confidence level will be more. So this is what generative AI is doing. We are creating the VAs, right? The virtual environments nowadays. Those virtual environments, Doctor Stream is one of the best examples of that, where Gen AI is making a lot of noise, and it's actually a good step. NLPs, like I showed you yesterday. Now it's a part of, yes, definitely. I think Hari have mentioned something, fight simulation, virtual environments. Definitely, they are the best examples. Even in army, again, I will not going to take a name of a country because it's little confidential. Um, when you talk about generative AI and things like fight simulation, virtual environments, generative AI, there are a lot of countries in which army ecosystem is getting revolutionized because of generative AI. And even in our country, lots of things are going on. NLPs. Now, NLPs primarily fall under deep learning, but with generative AI, it have taken a new form. So you can think of NLP as an best example, which is a combination of deep learning and generative AI. The one which I showed you yesterday. Open a notes, say something, and everything is getting written automatically. That is just a natural language processing. But one of the examples, again, trends for generative AI. Academics. Now, in academics, also generative AI is making the things very faster. Now, when you talk about any education system is always very slow, especially in our country, it's very slow. Now, to put a new subject, to create the entire content, to create the chapters, to create the examples, very tough, very tough. So with generative AI, you can do that. Now, again, when the people who create the entire course content, the subjects for any academic, they are just, 2 to 3% of the entire professors we have. Now, what we can do is we can use generative AI, or those 95% of the professors can use generative AI, and they can understand what this subject is, what is this concept, create some examples, then brainstorm, create their own examples, and then teach students. So in academics also, it is creating a lot of us. Right. So again, there is one question, how can we create new content for generative AI from time to time? How do we improve, manage this in real time? So very good example. Now, when you talk about ChatGPT, now when we talk about ChatGPT, we always talk about, let's say, ChatGPT 3, the older one. Now, ChatGPT 3 was trained till November 2022. So if you try to ask something from ChatGPT today, 3.5 version, let's say you ask about ABCD. So which came after November 2022, it will not going to give the answers for that. Reason being, because the data is not trained. So finally, the answer is we need to train them. We need to update and upload and train our data set more frequently. And there are many tools which are doing it. I will show you one of them, right, which will actually going to give you the real-time data. It's a very good example, very good question, first of all. Example, I want to check a weather of Chennai right now. Now, if I go to generative AI, it might, or ChatGPT, it might not give me the answer because it's not having the data. But there are certain tools which are actually getting trained from real-time data. So you will get the exact information, means exact in the sense the latest information from them. So the only answer to it is you need to make sure that you are injecting a new and fresh data set. Now, the next question again, how to prevent Gen AI getting biased? This completely depends upon your training models. Now, this is a problem, and this will definitely going to get resolved when there will be strong compliances. We will talk about it when we come to the end of this section, wherein we'll talk about ethical AI. Fani, I hope you got the answer. The next one is healthcare. Now, when you talk about creation of a drugs, when you talk about image processing for a drugs, when you talk about healthcare, generative AI is actually making lot of improvements in that. Again, it is not only generative AI, it will always going to be generative AI with data, which means with deep learning. So healthcare, NLPs, you will see a strong combination of deep learning with generative AI. Deep learning for prediction, generative AI for creating a new content. Next, GenAI models. Very good and very important topic to understand, right? So let's understand them now. Now, I'll just come to one of the topics first. So the first one is GAN. Now, let me come and tell you. It's called Generative Adversarial Network. So if I come here, sorry, and or let me put everything here. Then we will go back to the PPTs. Just give me 1 second. Now, when you talk about generative AI, definitely there should be models, right? Without models, nothing will going to work. So there are different models which are working in conjunction with each other. And one of the most popular one is known as GAN, or we always say GANs. GAN stand for Generative Adversarial Networks. Now, how it works? There are two components in it. The data will come, the data will get generated, right? So let's say GAN. In GAN, there are two components. One is called generator, and one is called discriminator. Discriminator. Now what happened? You gave a prompt and a new data will going to get created. Let's say generator will going to generate a new data. Let's say it created this data. Now what happens? This discriminator is there to fight with this generated data. It will actually going to say it will going to test it from all angles. Either this data is a genuine data or it's not a genuine data. So it will always going to fight. So discriminator, one data, and you have this. So I'm just writing it 1, 2, 1, 2. So there will be one warrior here in this model. This warrior will actually going to fight with this data. Will going to validate, test, check this data from all angles. If this data is okay, they will compromise. Yes, this data is okay. And then this data will going to be the output for you. If this data is not okay, this discriminator will send it back to the generator, and generator will actually going to generate a new data for it. And then again, the testing will happen under the hood. The model will test it completely. If okay, then it will going to be the output. So this is called GAN. So in GANs, what happens? The generator and discriminator, they fight with each other, right? So there will be realistic data, which will going to get generated. And hence, this is very useful and used by many applications under the hood. Most of the generative AI applications are using GANs. Then the next, this is the first model. There is another model. And that another model is called, again, it's called VAEs. VAEs. Variational Autoencoders. Now, what happens? There are two components to it. In fact, there are three components to it. Encoder. VAEs are specially used in image creation. And then you have a decoder. Decoders. Now, what happened? You give the input to create images. Let's say we are feeding images first, or you are asking it to create an image. or let me take it in a different words. Now what we will do is, let's say there is an image generator. There is an image generator. You are saying that, hey, image generator, can you please create a, let's say, an image for me for a lion riding a bike. What will happen? This prompt will go, there will be data. That data will come to the encoder. Data means the different images of lion and bike will come to this encoder. And then what this encoder will do? This encoder will going to compress them. Once it is compressed, what it will do is it will actually going to put it in a latent space. A virtual storage you can think of. Latent space. And then basis on your prompt, the algorithms will run here, multiple images, multiple lines images, bike images, and it will actually going to do multiple permutations and combinations and come up with the best line and bike image, and it will give it to the decoder. Once it will give it to the decoder, decoder will decode it, means it will uncompress it. And then it will going to be in our output. And you are going to see an image. That image is having a lion. Now, I don't know how to create a lion, but let's say this is a lion and riding a bike. So the image generators, they mostly use VAEs under the hood, under the backend. So we will be having a latent space, data compression will happen, reconstruction will happen, and new data will going to get generated. Right? And after that, we have something called foundational models. So if I come here, the third one. These are, again, this term is very popular, FMs. FMs are known as foundational models. So we are talking about foundational models. Now, if you really want to think about it, you can think of building one house or building one complete building, right? Let's say we are building a house. Now you are having a map. This is one thing, but you need multiple other people also in order to have your structure, in order to have your building completely created. So you need a plumber, uh, the wood people, you need electricity people, you need someone who can have the construction experience in brick by brick creation and so on and so forth, and many other things. Now, when you talk about these all people, in order to create a building, these are going to be the fundamental blocks, foundational blocks. Correct, everyone? Similarly, you can think of generative AI as a building, and you can think of this architects, plumber, wood people, electricity people, um, you know, uh, uh, the people who are doing, the other tasks for you. Without these people, without these teams, your building will not going to get created. So these are called foundational models. And these foundational models are nothing. They are machine learning or deep learning models. And hence, that's the reason we say generative AI is a subset of DL or ML. And funny, you have asked this question, see here, foundational models, they all are machine learning or deep learning models. So generative AI leverage the foundational models of machine learning with which it creates and does do rest of the stuff for us. You can create your own foundational models as well. Even it happened in generative AI, we are having ML, we are having DL, but there are some specific generative AI models as well. Example, GPT-3. Data is coming from ML or DL only, but how it is using it, ChatGPT-3. So GPT-3 model came. Similarly, Delhi. Similarly, there is a model called Clip. Meta is having Llama. I think Llama 3 is now there. So they all are foundational models. You can build your generative AI applications on top of them. Right? So we have DL models, neural networks, we have ML models, we have specific generative AI models, FM models like GPT-3, DALL-E, Clip, and so on and so forth, Llama, and many other. So foundational models are pretty important. Without foundational models, you cannot do anything. Many of the companies, what they do take foundational models, train them as per their requirements, and create their generative AI applications. The next one is LLMs. Again, a term which you will see on LinkedIn a lot, LLMs. LLMs. Now, when you talk about LLMs, these are the models which are used to create text-to-text transitions. LLMs, your ChatGPT is using LLM. They are trained on massive amount of information from books, articles, code repositories, and whatever data we have. Right? So training gives them a huge understanding of programming and language. So they perform tasks like translations, like summarization, like normal conversations, which generate the things. So means simple conversational generations. So conversations. Like you are interacting with ChatGPT and asking multiple things based on whatever you want. So these are the three primary tasks which are performed by LLMs. So LLMs are the base for any text-to-text system. Now, when you talk about LLMs, when you talk about transformer model or transformer architecture, it is actually a base for your LLM. Without transformer architecture, nothing would have happened. So transformer architecture came in 2017. And since then, people started working on LLMs. And LLM became very popular in November 2022 when ChatGPT was released. And then there is no look back. So this is how everything happens. So till 2017, it was all deep learning. Then in 2017, people started thinking about creating a new content. And for that, they gave a term, or a new term got created or generated, which is called LLM, large language models. Large language models under the hood are using transformer architecture. So transformer architecture was created and evolved, and it took approximately 5 years to see the success. And then the greatest success of that was revealed with ChatGPT in November 2022, which we use today, or which many of the people use today to solve or in their day-to-day ecosystem. Right? So now the next thing, again, since last couple of couple of years, there is another thing which came into the existence, and that existence is called RAG, retrieval augmented generation. Right? So it's called retrieval augmented generation. In simple layman language, they are the superchargers for your LLM. Right? They are the superchargers. Example, very simple example. Let's say you have a developer, and that developer have been assigned a task to code one application, but it's very complex application and it's not making easy for him or her to actually create the entire code out of it. Then what happened? Let's say a senior developer came and senior developer started giving the inputs. And once these senior developers started giving the inputs and helping with the right directions, this developer started creating a code and code got created. The application is released. And it happens, right? This is a similar concept which happened with RAG. So when you talk about LLMs, your developers are LLMs. They are trained on diversified data. That data can be from art, that data can be from IT, that data can be from sales, that data can be from manufacturing, that data can be from retail, that data can be from anywhere. In order to, let's say, we are talking about retail. We want to refine this retail data. Now, what we need to do? We need to supercharge this data, correct? This is exactly what the senior developer have done. And this is exactly what RAG will going to do. RAG will going to come up with a specialized retail data. Retail data. And it will going to supercharge this LLM with the retail data. It's having the data and it's getting more refined data. Then it will do all this magical stuff for us and going to give us the correct outputs and correct data. So RAGs are the superchargers for your LLMs. They provide specialized trained data on a particular vertical or a stream or area and help the LLMs to generate the highly accurate data for them or for that particular range or particular branch. This is exactly what your RAGs will do. Now, when you talk about real applications, you will always see things will be like this. So you will be having LLMs. LLMs, they might be using the foundational models because they are built on foundational models and they will be supercharged by RAG. And then whatever output is coming, this output will going to be highly accurate one. This is how the ecosystem works. So you will see whenever anyone is creating a specialized generative AI application, they will be having LLMs built on strong foundation of foundational models and supercharged with RAG. And then you are having outputs. Tools like text-to-text generation, especially like ChatGPT, right? Copilot, Gemini, right? They are using LLMs. You want more image ecosystem to it, you will add VAEs also. So completely depending upon what kind of application you are generating, what type of application you are trying to develop, you need to use one of these models, right? So ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot are few of them. So when you talk about ChatGPT, it's AI model by OpenAI. So if I give you an examples of few, so when you talk about ChatGPT, right? It's an AI model by a company called OpenAI. It generates human-like conversation, it understand and respond, and it is ideal for any conversational application. So it's a chatbot, simple. Similarly, there is another one which is called Gemini. Gemini is by Google. They changed the name. Earlier, this was known as Bard. If you come across this term, Bard, it under the hood, when you talk about this generative AI application, this is purely ML and NLP. It can give you text, it can give you images, it can give you audios, and so on and so forth. Even ChatGPT have changed recently. What they have done, they opened the entire ecosystem. Companies from outside can come and put their applications and algorithms here, and you can use that. Paid one also and free one also. right? When you talk about Gemini, Gemini is well suited for applications of Google. So you can integrate it with any Google application. The last one is Copilot. Microsoft is trying really hard to sell this. I'm sure your organization, if you're using Office 365, you might have got multiple demo sessions and multiple calls from Microsoft to use their Copilot. And it's a good one, right? It automates tasks, suggest content, generate text, right? Helps us to do the thing. So it's similar to ChatGPT and Gemini, right? So you can automate task, content suggestion will be there, image generation it can do. So again, completely depends, but the paid one is the one probably which individuals don't want to use. So for them, ChatGPT or Gemini will be the better options. Or there are many other free tools also which you can use. Because with Copilot, there are limitations to use the things. Right? Let us come back and check this here. So we have GANs, we have variational autoencoders, which is called VAEs. We have foundational models. We have large language models. And we have finally RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation. These are generative AI models. Next, prompt engineering. Now, this is also very important. Prompt engineering is nothing. Prompt engineering is what you are writing. That is called prompt engineering, right? So providing a well-crafted prompt to generative AI tool is very essential for best results. Otherwise, it will not going to be helpful for us. Example, if I come here, like I showed you earlier, let's say you are having a prompt and on that prompt, you are write a story. This is not a good prompt because you are not setting a context here. Write a story. What story? Which story do you want me to write? What should I write? So you should always give prompts which can have a clear context to it. Even there are different ways, different formats in which the prompt can be given. There are 8 or 9 different ways of crafting a prompt. It's called prompt crafting. So you will get the access to the prompt engineering course wherein you can go through it entirely. So write a story, it's not a good one. If I say write a story about a stick row, done. And it is creating big thing for us. Now you change it. Write a story about a stick row in 50 lines. All done. Then you are giving it to someone want to summarize it. He will just say, or he or she will just say, summarize, then paste these 50 lines in 5 bullet points. All done. So you need to make sure that you are giving the keywords and a context, in your prompts. Otherwise, the desired output will not be there. It's just like using Google. So if you know how to use Google, you know how to use the generative AI tools also. So you need to make sure the input is actually accurate. If not completely, then at least it should have a context to it. You should treat generative AI tools like your friends and do a normal conversations with them. Don't assume that they are intelligent enough to understand what is running in your mind. It's impossible. So you need to write it. Otherwise, things will not going to happen. Things will not going to work. Right? So prompt engineering is very important. Very, very important. So crafting specific and effective queries that guide the AI tools, generative AI tools, to generate useful, relevant, and accurate responses. That's called prompt, right? So let us come back here. So the process of creating and fine-tuning prompts to get the most accurate and relevant responses from it. Right? So prompt engineering is very important. So when you talk about LLMs, when you talk about text-to-text conversations, you will always going to see prompts there. Without prompts, nothing will going to happen. Now we will get started with use cases. So what we will do is we will start with simple use cases. So let's say I'm going to 8 to 10 simple use cases for everyone. Maybe some of you might be using it, but it's always good to have something which probably can give you, extra sense to add in your knowledge base. So I'm just going to use 8 to 10 simple examples with different tools. I'm going to use ChatGPT also, but not entirely ChatGPT, because I want to show other tools also. So we will have ChatGPT, we will have we will be having ChatGPT, we will have Ask Your PDF, we will have WizMe, we will have Hotpot, we will have many other. So let me try to show you as many tools as possible with their use cases, right? And what all free features we can use from them. This is the first. Secondly, what we will do is we will understand something called Bedrock. And we will see how Bedrock can be used as a generative AI tool. Then what we will do is we understand Bedrock. We will going to create our own chatbot. We will going to create a front end, right? In Python, you need not to do it. I'll give you the code as well. So this front end, it will be a Flask application, right? So we will create this to do two things: text to text and text to image conversion. So we will create our own chatbot, and under the hood, we will integrate it with Bedrock. But Bedrock is not free, right? It's pay as you go. Then I'll demonstrate another demo wherein we will create our own chatbot free of cost. Again, I'm going to use front end. This time I'll use SQLite or Django, right? Again, it will going to, I'll just create it simple for text to text, and I will integrate it with Google Gemini, free of cost. This is the way you can also create your chatbots for your teams, for your documentation, your products, right? So these things, these are little advanced and need some programming language as well. But from user perspective, you need not to code anything. I will give the entire codes in case you want to do a testing of it. It's all available on my GitHub. But I'm going to do this thing as well so that you can actually see that how these tools have been built and how you can get an idea to do something for your teams or your organization as well. Because this is all GenAI. GenAI is all about creating and generating new content. Right? Now let's get started. Simple. We'll start with very simple one. We'll start with the most commonly used tool called ChatGPT. And we will do the first one, which is called email composition. And we are going to use ChatGPT for it. So let me come back and show you the power of this. So I will say, I will stay signed out. See this. ChatGPT 4.40, it's called Omni, right? So if you see this, it's recently changed a couple of months back. Earlier it was 3.5, which was trained on 600 billion words. I don't know how many words 4.40 means 4 how many have been trained on, but 3.5 was trained on 600 billion words. So whatever you were getting, it was trained on 600 billion words. Now this one, even you have a paid one also. Again, if you log in, you will see ChatGPT 4. With ChatGPT 4, you can create your own private search query lake as well, right? So let's come here. Now let's say there is someone in my team and he wanted to take a leave. So usually what people do, people just write, hello ABC, I'm not feeling well. I will not be able to come to office today. Done. And sometimes it looks little unprofessional also, because the problem with technical people is especially, and when I say technical, I'm not talking about everyone, right? I'm just talking about the people who are starting their journeys, who are, who are just very fresh to the IT industry. So they don't know even how to take care of the emails. What should we write? What should we not write? And so on and so forth. How polite we should be, how aggressive we should be, right? Because it needs time to understand and learn all those things. In such cases, you can leverage ChatGPT. If you want to take a leave, better you can ask ChatGPT to write an email for you. Example, hey GPT, can you write an email for me for 2 days? Now this is context. So today is, I think it's second, right? Second or third? Third. 4th September 2024 and 5th September 2024 due to some urgent travel. Some urgent travel. My name is, let's say, Dheeraj, and I am writing, let's say, this email to my manager, Yogesh. See this prompt. I am putting everything. I want to take a leave these 2 days, some urgent travel. My name is this, and I'm writing this to my manager, this. Right? Even you can write, my company name is, let's say, Thinknyx Technologies. Clear prompt. Enter. You will see in many demos, people come up with the prompts already created. But that's not something which can help you to learn things. If you want to learn things, you should write your prompts, or someone should teach you to write prompts. See here. Now, if you see this, subject automatically came. A good one. First good point. Second point, see this. Dear Yogesh, automatically it picked from here. I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing this to inform you that I have encountered an urgent travel situation that requires my immediate attention. Consequently, I will need to take a leave for this. I will ensure that all my work and tasks are either completed or handed over to the colleagues. Maintain smooth this. Please let me know specific arrangements you would like me to do. Thanks for your understanding. Blah, blah, blah. All done. See this. My name, the dates, the task, why I want to take a leave, giving the confidence that in my absence, if you want me to hand over any task, I'll do it. Otherwise, by default, I'm going to do it. And see here, name and the company name. All done. See this. A good one. At least a better one than usually people send. Even you as a manager can leverage this. Now let's say same thing. You can copy paste if you are having your own laptop, just copy it and then paste it and then say, hey, Chat GPT or hey GPT, can you help me in reverting this email to approve leaves for Dheeraj? That's it. Just put, what it will do is, see here, it will automatically going to do the things for you. See here, dear Dheeraj, Thank you for informing me in advance. I approve your email, your leave request for September this. Please ensure that any urgent tasks are addressed and delegated before you leave to minimize any disruption. If there are any critical issues that arises during your absence, I will reach out to you via email. Safe travels. Thank you for your prompt communication. All done. Best regards, Yogesh. See this. Many of the times what we do because of the time constraint, we just write approved, done. Even I do that. Approved, done. But I don't think so that's a better way. Just go to GPT or any other generative AI tool. Just paste that email, ask it to generate an email, copy it, paste it, all done. Less than 60 seconds, a good email sent. Super awesome. Likewise, I'll share one more insights. This is an example which I have seen someone have used. The HR have used actually in their organization. So it was like, hey GPT, I have seen some of the team members of my team are coming late regularly since last 30 days. Can you write an email but be polite and very professional to stop them from coming late to office? My name is, let's say, Monica, and I am from Thinknyx Technologies. Enter. See this. First of all, this subject, punctuality and office timings. Very nice, because it's an art to actually have a subject. Subject clears a lot of things for us. Now see this email. If you read it, you will see it's actually a very well crafted email. I wanted to take a moment to address an important aspect of our work routine, punctuality. It has come to my attention that there has been a noticeable trend of late arrivals over the past 30 days. While I understand that occasional delays are inevitable, I would like to gently remind everyone of the importance of adhering to our designated office hours. Being punctual not only helps in maintaining a smooth workflow, but also ensures that we can collaborate effectively and meet our collective goals. See this. Even if you ask someone, I should not say someone, if you ask me to write such kind of an email, probably I will take 30 minutes to 1 hour just to write this. I'll write one email, write one line, then I will remove it. Then again, I'll write, okay, this is not matching here. Let's do this, that, multiple permutations and combinations, and we will actually just wasting our time. So in such cases, generative AI tools are very good to be used. You can generate poems, you can generate whatever you want. Example, I'll say, hey GPT, can you write a poem for my daughter, Dia Raheja, who is turning 4 in October, let's say. Done. Let's see what will happen. See this. I cannot imagine to be a poet, but see this. This is the power. See here. Now, these all are the use cases wherein you can use ChatGPT. This is one. Let's come back. And I would say that you should use any generative AI tool, any text-to-text tool, which probably can save a lot of time for you in email writing and other such things. Let us come next. Summarization. Again, many tools are there. I'm just taking an example of the same ChatGPT for your reference. Now, let's say I'll come here to my website I'll give you two different examples to it, and I'll come to a blog. There is an open town hall, and one specific technology is going to be discussed there, let's say. And there is already a blog published on it. Let's say Docker inside Docker. It's called Kind. On your laptop, you can set Docker inside Docker. That's it. And you can have production like Kubernetes running there. So if you come here, if I copy this and I come back to my GPT and say summarize this for me in 100 lines. Enter. See this. The entire big blog, you will be able to see it will be summarized in 100 lines. What it is, how it is, blah, 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 blah. See here. Introduction, overview, capabilities, options, introduction to Kind, key features of Kind, integrations, troubleshooting and best practices, comparison, and finally conclusion. And then you can say, hey GPT, summarize this in 5 bullet points only with enter. See this big blog, starting paragraph to have a context, and then you have 5 bullet points all done. All done. This is particularly useful if you are getting a mails from vendors and you are getting hundreds of such emails and you just wanted to see what's the crux in them. Either they are useful or they are not useful. So you can leverage LLMs, means you can leverage generative AI for such tasks. Very useful. I do that. I use that quite often. Next. Now this is okay. Now question comes the next use case. I want to interact with PDFs. I cannot do that with ChatGPT, right? I cannot upload my PDF and I cannot interact with my PDF to get the answers or queries. No. This is a very good example. Let's say you are having a tender and that tender you have to fill and that tender is of 100, 200 pages of PDF, right? Control F, Control F. Definitely you can do. This is what we are doing since ages. But if you want to interact with that PDF, there are options in generative AI. Ask your PDF is one of them. Let me show this to you. It's very useful. I think I'm using it here. Yeah. askyourpdf.com. See this, right? So let me log in or start for free. Login is there or not? If you see here, one PDF here. So if I open this PDF, if I show you what this PDF is, you just go to thinknyx.com. Just to show you an example, I did that. So if you come here, there are certain brochures here. So we have consulting one. So if you come to this one, right? If I view it, this is a PDF, right? So the consulting business of Thinknyx, about Thinknyx, what they do, what are their services, case studies, blah, 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 and what other verticals they have, and so on and so forth. So this is 15 pages. So what I did, I just uploaded it here. Right now, what you can do is you can start doing a conversations with it. Let's see how it goes. See here, automatically it have extracted the bullet points for us from this PDF. See here, what specific software development services does Thinknyx provides? How does Thinknyx ensure customers, right? Can you explain significance of DevOps automation in their offering? Blah, blah, blah. Now you can even talk to this PDF, this particular PDF. Now let me show you. Tell me about all services of Thinknyx technologies. Enter. Let us see what will happen. It will actually going to extract everything from here, from this particular 15 pager. So if you come here, see this. Services of Thinknyx technologies. They offers a comprehensive range of services tailored to meet blah, blah, blah. IT infrastructure and cloud services, development solutions, automation services, IT security services, professional and training services, staffing and recruitment services, end-to-end IT and blah, blah, blah. And if you come here, you able to see this 3, 5, and 9. There is a meaning to it. This 3, 5, 9. This 3, 5, 9 means number of the page number from which this data has been extracted. Right? This data has been extracted. Make sense? See here, 3, 5, 9. So if you go to page number 3 of this PDF, 1, 2, 3 here, page number 5, which is here, and page number 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one is 9, I think this one. So it have extracted everything from here, everything from here. You can write, if it's there, I think it should not be. Yeah, success stories. Tell me about few of their success stories. One C is missing. Anyways, see this. Cloud migrations, expansion, see here. Page number 11, 9, 9, and 12. So they have actually they have extracted all the success stories from it. So it's a very good tool for big PDFs to extract data in lesser time. Many companies are using it. I think there are some of the questions also. Let me see. So first is from Ravi. Does discriminator uses some sort of original data to validate new generated data? Yes, it has its own data also, and even you can inject the pure data as well to it, so that data can be compared with the data which generator is creating. Why we need to create a new models for GenAI? Because when you talk about DL is just about ML, and DL is just about predictions. You cannot generate a new content out of DL or ML algorithms. And hence that's the reason you need to generate, or you need to develop new models which can actually take that data and reproduce cloned data, means similar data to it, original data to it. Do enterprise build their own models or leverage these as base? Both. So Archana, some of the companies are building their own. If they build it, even they sell it. And majority of the companies are leveraging the already existing models because it's too time consuming and it takes a lot of infrastructure. Cost involvement is also there. GenAI won't create any model. No. GenAI won't create any model. GenAI leverages the underlying models. Okay. What's the difference between FM and LLM? For example, is GPT-3 a FM or LLM? So now when you talk about FM are foundational models, right? So I will give you the examples of FM models. Example, Titan. From Amazon, Titan is a FM model, a foundational model. When you talk about GPT-3, it's a LLM. Yes. Are FM specific to GenAI? Yes and no, because when you talk about FMs are used in generative AI, but FMs can be from the already existing ML and DL models as well. So in generative AI, you can have traditional FM models, or you can have completely new FM models as well. Does the parameter size of LLM be a factor in choosing an LLM? Does the parameter size? I didn't get this parameter sized. Parameter size. Does the parameter size of prompting to write a prompt, if that's the thing, yes. What does prompt engineers do? Do they write only all these prompts and other things also? Just one thing. There is nothing called prompt engineers. Every one of us is a prompt engineer. A Linux admin is also a prompt engineer. An HR executive is also a prompt engineer. A trainer is also a prompt engineer. So you can think of prompt engineer as someone which is with everyone, because this is something which we are going to use for a specific domains we are working in. So we will be having one specific domain, and in order to have a helping friend, we are leveraging LLM models. We are leveraging generative AI. And to have the better outputs from the generative AI, you should know how to write effective prompts. This is exactly like Google. If someone asks me, are there any Google engineers who are searching the things from google.com? The answer is no. Google search engine is for everyone. Likewise, prompt engineering is for everyone. I foresee we all ending up in a chain of GPT written mails in our mailbox. You are absolutely right, Xavier. This exactly happened with me when since last one, I'll show you if I come back here. Since last 1 year, I always see one thing, and that one thing is this line. I hope this message finds you well. I always see this when I generally write emails, or 1 2 years ago, we always used to see here, hi Yogesh, how are you, or hope you're doing fine. But now that line is getting changed with, hi, I hope this message finds you well. So now I am assuming that if I get an email and it is having, I hope this message finds you well, the probability is it's created from ChatGPT. So Prasanna, how does the GPT knows Yogesh is from Thinknyx Technologies when you are not logged in? So if you see here in my prompt, I have given it. That's the reason I said the prompt engineering plays a pivotal role. See this. My company is Thinknyx Technologies. So I have given the name, I have given the manager's name, I have given my own name, I have given the dates and year. Basis on this context, it have done the magic for us. And this is a place from where it is taking the things here. Thank you, Archana. You have given this answer. If we have a huge PDF, is the processing will take time or it will respond fast? Depends. More data, you might expect little slowness in the processing. But I have tested it for 200, 300 pages. The response was very good. This is okay for normal PDF. But if I want to extract data from sensitive documents, for us, for sensitive documents, it is highly recommended not to put anything in any of the publicly available tools. Now they say we are secure, now they say everything, but we cannot take a chance to put our sensitive data. In such cases, the better way is to create your own organizational uh, tools which can help you to do such things, or take the private one, right? I think even in Copilot, this feature is there, but you need to check it out. If an email is too well written or too good to be true, it's most likely a GenAI written email. Absolutely, Suresh, you are absolutely right. Can we use both GPT and Llama together to build GenAI? See, as per my experience, I have seen a single model, but there is a concept of multi-model as well. So I didn't do that. I haven't implemented such solution as of today. But yes, that is possible. There is a term called multi-model. So you can use or leverage GPT-3 and Llama, and you can do the things together. I have seen certain cases wherein one model of text to text, one model of image generation, one model of audio generation have been used together. But I didn't come across any practical scenario wherein two text to text models have been incorporated together, because there might be functionality issues or something else. So Kiran, if they are separate, yes, you can use. If they are same, you need to research. Perfect. So now let us come to the next case. Content creation. Now, Gravity, right? Again, it's a paid one, but this is used to create a blog. This is used to create a YouTube short for you. You can create your entire course content, TOC, course content, everything can be created. But the free limit is very less. So I'll show you. Let me close this. Come here. Gravity, right. I think .ai, not com, .com. And if I log in, and let me use my Google account. See this. But again, the free limits of this tool is very less. But I just wanted to show you this. If you see here, blog workflow, you can create the entire outline of a blog. You can create the entire content of a blog. You can create a YouTube shorts out of it. See this, shorts and reels. So you will always see this tool. But now again, I think I should not be having the limit left, but let me check it out. Blog content, right? So let's say enter your blog topic. Let's say I'm writing Linux. Enter outline here. So I just want to create it. So I think I need to go to outline first. Linux, let's say, create content. Now, if you see here, your subscription monthly word. Okay, so if you see here, my subscription has been exceeded. So my free tier has been exceeded. So it will not going to generate. Let me log out. And try to log in with my another email. Let me use this one. Just to show you that how powerful things you can do. Now it's used for many things. See here, blog tools, image prompts, social media tools, writing assistants, YouTube, SEO, copyright tools, blah, 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 many things. But I'm just showing you one of the examples. Blog outline. Come here. You can just say Linux, create content. It will actually going to create the entire outline for you. See this. Now, if I copy this and paste it in a Word, you will see here, see this, how beautifully it have actually created everything for us. Section wise. So section 1, see this. A complete guide to Linux, understanding the operating system for every introduction to Linux, getting started with Linux. See this, understanding the Linux file system. Come down, down, see this. Here, software and package management in Linux, exploring advanced Linux features, and so on and so forth. And then finally conclusion and other things. See this, how beautifully it have crafted everything for us. Right? See this. Likewise, we'll come back and we'll come to the next one, text to image creation. This is something which we are going to build also. So we're going to build text to image chatbot for or GenAI application for ourselves also. But there are already available. See here, hotpot.ai. So you text, it will going to create an image for you. Whatever you imagine, it will do it. Think about it. A simple case. If I ask someone, anyone in this world, that can you tell me can you extract 4 images of people who does not exist in this universe? No one will be able to do it. Impossible. Such things you can do using GenAI. You can ask GenAI to create an image of a human who does not exist. Wow. Without AI, without tools, impossible, because we cannot do that. We are not having that much data set in our brain. So let me show you Hotpot. See here, everything is free here, apart from this headshot. All image, editing, games, writing, everything is free. I think that this is the only one where which is a paid one. Now, if you see this AI images, let us go to AI stock photos. So Phil, I think there are a couple of questions. Give me 1 second. AI reduces the typing of each and every line of code in software development, right? You don't have to be programmer or learning each and every line of code in future. See, I have Dinesh, I will not agree to it. Reason being, generative AI, you cannot replace it with everything in coding. You can use it if you know how to code, if you are having certain experience in coding. Otherwise, anyone will come, he will or she will go to GPT, okay, write this thing for me and give. No, you need to validate things. So if the people who are just typing things to extract the code from GPT, it's not a good practice. So I don't think so. It will going to be a good practice at all, because it will not going to be your parameters, your security concerns, and so on and so forth. So in future, I don't know what will happen, but I must say, unless and until we are not having a technical hold on the technology, Gen AI will not going to help us anymore. If we are going to use it without underlying technical knowledge, then definitely within next 5 to 10 years, we are going to be all dumb. Dheeraj have said, if an email is too well, highly dependent. Yeah, absolutely, Dheeraj, I will agree to it, because either it is created or it is not created, it will always going to be a debate. Yes, absolutely. So that's the reason better if email is there, just focus on the content, just focus on the context. That's it. Either it is written by AI or a human, doesn't matter. It should resolve the purpose for us. Does generative AI has any restriction to stop generating P2 data or sensitive content? As of now, a lot of research is going on, right? It completely depends upon the model we are training, right? So this is one of the concerned areas. An example, I'll give you one simple example. Those fake videos, deep fake videos, right? So sensitive data and P2 data, both were there. So again, if we are using generative AI for 100 good things, I am sure it is being used for 200 bad things also. So a lot of research in ethical AI is going on, but still we are too far away to reach to that level. Xavier have given this person does not exist.com. Wow. What reference would it take from a non-existing human being pictures? It's all about data set, Phil. So the huge data set, whatever data set is there is a huge data lake. As I told you, GPT 3.5 was built from 600 billion words. Likewise, there is a data set at the backend. So millions and trillions of photos have been added there. So it will do a permutation and combination of it, and it will generate something which does not exist there. It might be correct, it might be incorrect, because if more and more data will come, again, more and more accuracy will come. So I'll test it out, which I think Xavier have given here. Let us see. This person does not exist. If I refresh it, will it get more and more? Wow. See here. Good one. Thank you, Xavier. See this. These people does not exist as per the data set available. See here. Good one. More girls, less boys. Perfect. More boys also. Thank you, Xavier. Now this Hotpot. Now, if you see here, just go to hotpot.ai, right? I am just going to images, you can have other things also. I'm just going to stock photos here, and you can say, now this is a prompt. I'm going to prompt. Let's say I'm saying a cat riding a bicycle, right? And there are different formats also here which you can use. Let's say I'm using the default one, this one, and I'll say, okay. So I have 50 photos per day, which I can create from a free account. See this, it is generating a photo for the prompt I have given. See this, a cat is riding a bicycle. See this, right? If you come here, you can choose use any other format. Let's say I use this format, and then I can say it will generate another one. See here, counter increased to 2. See this. This is the first format, second format. The background is changed here and here. Right? So you can create the pictures out of this tool, Hotpot. Likewise, the next use case, text to video. You can generate or you can create videos. Right? So you have InVideo.io. Right? Let me show you. Login. Let me join with my Google account. Again, I must strongly recommend you to create a new Google account and then try out all these things. Don't use your original Google account. See here, generate a video. You can put here things, it will generate a video for you. See this, YouTube explainer, script to video, YouTube shorts. Let's say YouTube shorts. I'll click on YouTube shorts. So create a YouTube short. Let's say fast paced. It is saying, give me an interesting topic. Let's say I'm giving an interesting topic of which one? Let's say Linux, or let's say containers or Kubernetes, let's say, right? Let's say Linux. Linux is a better one. Linux. Rest all things English setting. If you see here, use this any voice, or you want American accent, Southern accent, and whatever. Let's say clear American voice. And then see here, subtitles and all. I don't want to give anything. Watermark in text. See here, this will come Yogesh and something something. So you can say demo test. Continue. See this, generate a video. Create a, this is this about Linux. This. Click on generate video. Let us see what will happen. See here, analyzed, thinking, audience tech, this, YouTube short, continue. Sorry. See here, 11% of the video is ready. And it will find the audio, which is not having any copyright issues with YouTube. It does all such things at the backend for us. Now, if you see here, it is creating a script for us as well. So Arun has a couple of questions. What about the safe and security of the data we have given to this application? So at present point in time, you just read the terms and conditions of that application, and you will going to get the answer from there. Otherwise, if you ask me to be very true, I would say we cannot trust. Right? Giving your confidential data is unsafe at present point in time, unless and until you are not using a proprietary software. For free one, you cannot guarantee, because that data might be used somewhere else. We don't know. Uh, I am I'm wondering how AI tackles to add shadows and lights at the right place to the pics to look realistic. This is what generative AI is all about. This is what transformer architecture and deep learning data sets are providing the details to us. This is how the models have been trained. Are you sharing sound? No, I'm not sharing any sound. It will automatically going to take the sound. So if you see here, it is saying playback is not supported on this browser, so you use Chrome or this. Okay, but let us generate, and otherwise. So it is showing me some error here. If you see here, it is saying playback is not supported on this browser. Use Chrome. Now I think I'm using Firefox. Maybe that's the reason it is showing me this. Or if I click it here, will it going to take me? No. Let me, if you see here, it have created it. See this. But because my browser is not supporting it, so it will not give me a command to edit this video. No, I don't want. Okay, so I'll come here. Usually I don't use such things from my Chrome, but as I don't have any other option left, so I have to use it.
You can download and play. It gives them download
Okay.
option.
It was there. Yeah. Let me see. Yes. Thank you. So no watermarks. Again, for no watermarks, it need paid version. I'll say this, and I'll say continue. So it should play here also. I don't know why it is not.
It's
If you
still
see
downloading,
here,
I think.
yeah, it's downloading. I was just trying to play it. I think my browser, this Firefox is not supporting that plugin, and hence that's the reason it is not working here. But if you see here, why Linux is awesome in 60 seconds, automatically it have given the title to this YouTube short as well. So it is downloading now, 60 MB done. Almost perfect. Let me open it. See this.
If you don't like constant updates but still want a secure OS, then switch to Linux. First up, Linux is free. No more paying for licenses. Say goodbye to annoying pop-ups and ads. Next, it's super secure. With fewer viruses and malware, your data stays safe. Customization is a breeze. Tweak your desktop to look and feel exactly how you want. Want a dark mode? Easy peasy. And guess what? Linux runs on older hardware like a charm. Breathe new life into that old PC. Plus, the Linux community is amazing. Tons of support and endless tutorials. You'll never feel lost. So, what are you waiting for? Dive into the world of Linux and discover a better way to compute. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech tips.
See here how easy it is. So Archana is saying, great, everyone can be a content creator now. But there are tweaks, I'll tell you. If you closely observe this, you will see
If
watermarks.
you don't like constant updates but still want a secure OS,
There are
then switch to Linux. First up, Linux is free. No more paying for life.
If you see here this up, InVideo demo test. And if you see this behind this 4, there is iStock by something. So there are a couple of tweaks which you have to do. Even YouTube have identified this already, that people generate videos and earn, a good amount of money. So, but yes, if it's a useful video, yes, everyone can be a content creator now, right? So this is how easy it is to create and generate videos. Let us go back and see what's next. PowerPoint presentations. Wow. There are many tools to it, right? But um, I'll just show you the things with Visme. So Visme is a good one. So let us come back. Visme.co. I think there is another one. I forgot the name of that. It's a good one. Hmm, create with AI or something like that. I forgot. I used it once. It's a good one. Visme.ai. Let us create. Let us see how to create this Visme. Visme.co. See here. So you log in. Google. See this. I created this presentation just to test 6-7 days ago that it is working fine or not. It created a good one. Let me show you. On Kubernetes, I was just trying and seeing that how efficient it is nowadays. See this. Kubernetes unlocked. Introduction, what's inside, understanding Kubernetes, dwelling into architecture and all. See this. Introduction. There were certain things which I rectified, but overall it was good. See here. Example like this. So you need to do some rectifications, but overall 80-90% of work will be done. Right? So this one is a good one. If in case you want to use it, you can use it. Even I think Surya have given one. You can try it out in case you want to try it out. So this one. I have used one which is very good, but I forgot the name of that. I think Pop AI. I think it was generate with AI something. It was very good actually, very good. Generate or create with AI. I'll check. It's not coming in my mind now. Yes, Suresh and everyone, you are all going to get this presentation. I'm going to share this presentation today with you all. Don't worry. And you are going to get the recording of this session also. We are processing it, we'll upload it, and we will share it across to everyone. Right. So if you see here, PPT creation, you can create PPT. So I'll close it. You can do it from Visme also in case you want. Right. So you can come create new project presentation. See here, create new project presentations. Come here, use whatever type of model you want to use. Example, let's say we use something related to education is there. Yeah, this one. If you come here, see this. Which one you want to use from here? Let's say I wanted to use let's say this one, or let's say this one. There are many things it shows. No, I don't want to change anything. I just want to use this basic template, nothing else. Go back. What happened? No, it is not taking me out. Want to edit anything? Let me take back. I don't know what happened to it. Let me delete this. Create new project presentation. I just want to create a new presentation, let's say on education. That's it. Create from blank. If you see here, generate with AI designer. Now, I don't know either it will be a free or not, but I think it should just ask us to select one. Let me use this. Yeah, so we will create it with AI designer instead of doing any customization ourselves. So what can I help you to create today, Yogesh? So I'll say, can you help me in creating a presentation on generative AI fundamentals, let's say, and I'll say, okay. Now, if you see here, I can help you to create the presentation. Here are some of the topics, key terms such as this. Okay. I want Generative AI models to be included, and the slides should be 8 in number. So which style do you want? Let's say I want use this style. So a couple of minutes will save you hours. So let us see how much time it will take to create something. Canvas is there, yes. So we, in our organization, we use Canva, the proprietary model subscription of Canvas. So let us wait and see. See here, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5, slide 6, slide 7, slide 8, and a summary. Total slides have been created. I don't know where is the one to download. It should be there. Yeah. See this. So you can download it from here. All slides, yes. See here, you want it in an image format, PDF, present offline, right, and all. PPT, present offline, download. Now, if you see here, upgrade, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't want. I don't want any paid one. I don't want paid anything. So I'll just not do any continue. But just wanted to show you that how this is going to be there. So you will be able to see things like this. So this is 1, this is 2, see here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there are many other such tools which you can leverage in order to generate and create PPTs and other things. So I'll come back here. It should be there in my project now. Yeah, this one. And now I can play it here. And then I can download it. See here. Generative AI, understanding the key components, blah, blah, blah. I haven't given anything. See here. Introduction, key concept, applications, real world example, ethical considerations, focus on models, conclusion. See here, introduction, class of algorithms that can create new content from images and music to text and videos and blah. Come here, key concept, see here. Deep learning, neural network, recurrent neural networks, convolutional means artificial neural networks. See here. So deep learning and artificial neural networks is the key thing for generative AI. See this art and design, VA and AR, research and drug discovery, music composition, blah, blah. If you see here, this is an error. The font size is different now. So such kind of things you need to figure out and change. See this real world example, ChatGPT, DeepArt, Google's Dreamwave, Nibble's music generator, and so on and so forth. Even few of the tools which I don't know. See this ethical consideration. This segment will dwell into various ethical considerations and the debate surrounding them, which even we are discussing, right? Content, authenticity and privacy concerns. It's always there. So focus on AI model, blah, 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 and rest of the things. So you can download it from here. It will get download from here. So Ramya, with free subscription, there are certain credits. So with those credits, you can download the things. If credits are gone, then definitely it will not allow you to download things. Right? Let us see what's next in the cart. Brand logos. So you can use loca.com and you can actually design your own logos. It's a very useful one. Very useful. Right? Again, you can check it out once you want, whenever you want, loca.com. Similarly, coding and development, again, people use ChatGPT for that. I would say if you want to use it for coding, you can use it, but make sure you know the core of that programming language. Otherwise, it will just going to tell you something and you are going to do it. So don't do that. Lastly, let me show you one thing more, which I recently come across. There is a tool called Perplexity. XIPY. This one. It's a good one. Like ChatGPT, someone have asked this question. You can ask real terms to it, the real-time data to it. Example, I think there is a match going on. If yes, then we will see. Let's see. Second test, this one, Pakistan versus Bangladesh. Tell me about the scores of cricket match between Pakistan and Bangladesh. What will happen? See here. Live, it will go to the real uh, data sites and it will actually going to extract the summary for you. See here. See this. Day 4, day 5 is the current day. See this. If you come here, see this. Second test, day 5. Bangladesh need 92 runs. If you come here, it will show you things here itself. In the ongoing, this is Pakistan Bangladesh match. See here, Bangladesh is 42 for 0. So almost real. They are 93 for 2 now. Now, if you see here, it is showing till last half an hour, 1 hour one. See here. See this. So you can use this tool also. It's a good one. I'll just paste this in case you wanted to use it in your day-to-day ecosystem. Right? So these are some of the common day-to-day use cases and day-to-day tools which you can leverage in order to mitigate your extra work in lesser time. So what we are going to do now is we are going to get started by understanding one of the services of Amazon, which is called Bedrock. It's a generative AI service provided by Amazon. So let us see how it looks like and what all we can do before we actually leverage it and create our own chatbot. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log in and going to do the things for Bedrock. So Bedrock provides the foundational models from its own ecosystem and from the leading AI startups as well. And we can use those models and we can do chat or image and other things. So let's see. So I'll come back. Where is our Amazon? Let me bring it back here. This is the one. So let me close other. We'll go to services. We'll go to Bedrock. See this. The easiest way to build and scale generative AI applications with foundational models. Right? So you will all going to see the foundational models there. Click on this Amazon Bedrock. See this. So what it is, it's again fully managed service, benefits, and what all you can do. Text generation, chatbot, searches, summarization, personalization, image generation, and so on and so forth. And if you see here, you will see AI 21 Labs, AI, right? So you will see Stable Diffusion, Amazon Titan, Llama. So they all are the models. Amazon is having their own model called Titan. And there are other companies, right? Startups or leading AI companies. They have also given their foundational models, which can be incorporated with Bedrock. They are already available. It completely depends upon you, which model you want to use. So Amazon Bedrock provides such flexibility. Let us see. So get started. See here. So you will see, if you see this portion here, foundational models. Now, if you come here, you will see all of the models here. You can You can have base models, you can custom models, even you can put your own models. Now, this is something which is newly came here. It was not earlier. See this, it's in preview. So you have a base model, right? It can be, these all are the foundational base models by Amazon or by other companies with which they have a tie-up. You can customize these models, or even you can build your own model and you can bring it, and then you can use it to do rest of the stuff. Similarly, if you come down, what all you can do, you can test everything like chat, text, and image. So these are the things which you can do with these models. The only thing which you need to do is, if you scroll down, you will be able to see model access. By default, if you are using Bedrock, everything will be disabled. So if I click here, you see in our case, majority of the things are enabled. See this. This is a company, these are their models. Amazon, these models. Anthropic, these models. Cohere, these models. Meta, these models, right? Mistral, these models. Stability, these models. So you need to ask or take, again, you will see modify model access. Click here and you need to request for the access. Example, if you see here, I'm not having access to this. Now, in order to get the access to Anthropic, you need to tell them your use case also. It will ask you to give the use case details if you wanted to use Anthropic, right? So first of all, whenever you're using it for the first time, you need to make sure you are enabling the base models. And instead of something like available to request, you will see something called access granted, access granted. So in our case, if you see here, only one model we are not having access, rest all of the models we are having access. So if I try to get access to it, let me select all, wherein this also comes, this one, right? I'll come down here and I will say next, right? And I will say submit. See this, request access, submit. Now what will happen if you come down, see this, it will show you in progress. In backend, validation will happen, and within couple of seconds or minutes, you're going to see access granted. So before you get started with Bedrock, you need to have the model access in granted state. Once this is done, then you can come back to this playground, right? Example, chat. So you can come, see this, select a model. Which model do you want to select? Example, click here, see this. I wanted to select, let's say, Amazon. And I wanted to select, let's say, Amazon Titan Text G1 Express. It's a model of Amazon LLM model. Click here and you will say apply. And now there are various customizable options you will get from here. And then you can do whatever you want to do. Example, tell me about generative AI in 100 lines, let's say, and you will say run. And you will see this is bot. A bot is doing the things at the back end and creating a content for you. See here, it started creating a content for us. See here. Overall, how much time it took, right? How much cost it incur for us. All things will be here. See here. Generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence, blah, 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 all such things. All such things you can do from here. Likewise, if you see here, text, again, same thing, right? Text to text conversions if you want. Same, come here, Amazon, do whatever you wanted to do. And then finally you have image. Click, see this. Select a model. So we have only two models here, two companies, two model providers, Amazon and Stability. And these are the models from Amazon. And this is the model from Stability. So we'll take it from Amazon. We will take, let's say, Titan Image Generator G1 V2 version, on demand, apply. Now you can write whatever type of image you want to create. Let's say a cat riding a bicycle. And you can say run. It will actually going to generate an image for us. I think by default, it creates 3 number of images. See here. So you can change this in case you want. Let's see what happens. Taking some time. Usually it won't take this much time. Maybe it's a new image for Amazon Bedrock. It should not take this much time. See here. If you say this is almost similar image, right? The background is different, which we have witnessed earlier also. See here, 1 image, 2 image, 3 image. Even you can provide your own references here in order to generate image. If you have a cat, you can give a cat to it, and it will automatically going to take a bicycle, put your cat on it, and it will show the details to you. Now, this is how the ecosystem of Bedrock works, right? It is similar to whatever we have seen, but this is completely private. And if this is private, definitely it is secure, because with cloud, the contract is little tighter as compared to any other open tools. Now, next thing, this is all okay. Now we are actually going to leverage this thing only. We are going to leverage Amazon Bedrock, and we are going to create our own chatbot. Right? So what we are going to do, we are going to use a couple of things for it. So let me come back here and let me try to explain you what we are going to do. This is just for your reference. You need not to worry that what all things I'm using. I just wanted to show you that how you can even create your own chatbots. Now what we are going to do is we are actually going to use Bedrock, Amazon Bedrock. And I'm going to do everything from scratch. Whatever issues will come, I'll try to rectify in front of you. And then we will build one server. Let's say we will build one AWS EC2 server, EC2 instance. And we are going to have a Flask application there. You can use Django, you can use Flask, right? Any web framework you can use. I'm going to use Flask. And then we are going to have two things here, text to text and text to image. Right? Text to text and text to image. These are the two things which we are going to use. And when we talk about this text to text, we are going to use a specific foundational model. So we will use Anthropic for it, which is available in Bedrock. ROPIC, Anthropic. So we are going to use this model is capable enough of creating human-like text, like we have seen with Titan. And with the other one, text to image, I think there will be something called diffusion. So we will use a diffusion, stable diffusion for creating images. So we will use stable diffusion model. We will going to have one GUI. So we will install Flask application. Now this, we will go to internet with x.x.x.ip, whatever IP we are going to get, the public IP, and a port number, right? Which will actually going to go to this Flask and going to have a GUI for us, like you have for ChatGPT. And then these two things will going to be in options here. So text to text, text to image. You select text to text, there will be a prompt. You put, it will generate the value. Then you select text to image, give a prompt, it will actually going to generate an image for us. So this is what we will try to build for us. Let us see how it goes, but let's try it out. Now, I'll come back to our Amazon. So let me go to my GitHub account. If you go to the repositories of my organization, you will see something called this AI ecosystem, the one which I showed you yesterday also. This repository, you will see a capstone project. right? So I'll just copy this and share it to everyone as well. It's my chat. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I am actually going to use this repository, and we are going to create the entire ecosystem of our own. And let us see how it will going to go. So let me check one thing first. Let us create an EC2 instance first. Nothing is running at present. There are a couple of servers which are running at present point in time. So let me create a new one. Launch an instance. Let's say chatbot Bedrock, just for a reference. Let's use Amazon Linux because we need to have AWS and other things. Amazon Linux. I'll use T2.medium. Let me select a key pair, Yogesh Mac test. You can create a new security group and then add the port later on if you wish to. Let's do that. Let me do edit and bot Bedrock test security group. I'm just giving it a name. Only port number 22 is allowed at present point in time. 15 GB of hard drive, all done. So let me launch this instance. So the instance is up and running. Let us log in inside it. SSH-I Yogesh Mac EC2-user @ this. Yes. Sudo-I. This is my server. Let me change a name. Hostname CTL set-hostname chatbot test bash. All done. So now first thing which we need to do is we need to clone a repository, this one. So let me do step-by-step things. So let us clone it. HTTPS, come here, git clone. Git is not there. Yum install git. Yes. Sorry. Clear. Yum install. Sorry. Git clone. Clone it. Perfect. AI. And then we have capstone project. Let me clear a screen. Come here. Now, if you see here, so we have requirements.txt, cat requirements.txt. So we need Boto3 and we need Flask. We don't need anything else. Even you can just install it. Either you need not to do like this because these versions might be different. So you can just install. So you can have pip. Pip is not there. Yum install. I'm sure there will be Python 3. Let me check it out first. Yep. So yum install Python 3 pip. Yes. Let me clear. Right. So instead of doing pip install -r requirement.txt file, I am going to do it manually because I don't know either the versions are same or not. Otherwise, we need to again change everything. So I'll do pip3 install Flask. So Flask is still same. If you see here, 3.0.3, this is same version. Let me check Boto 3. pip3 install Boto 3. Now if you see here, Boto 3 version is changed. 1.35.10. And here it is 1.34.109. So it is different. Let me change them here directly. So that if you try it out, it should work for you. So we have 1.35.10. I'm just directly doing it so that this code can work exactly in the same way for you, right? Done. Now what you can do is when you take this code, you can do it manually or you can do pip3 install -r and you can do requirement.txt. This will automatically going to read the things from it and do the magic for us. This is one thing. Now, before we do anything here, we need to have AWS Bedrock access, right? So for that, we need to create a IAM role. So if I come here and I go to IAM, we will create one super user. Let me see. 2 user groups. Okay. Come to users. So create a user. Let's say AI demo user. Management console, we don't need. Next. Directly come to policies. For the time being, what I'm doing is I'm just giving the administrator access to it. Now you can just give Bedrock access to it as well, but just for the demo, I'm giving full access. Don't give it when you are doing it for production. Next. Admin, perfect, create user. So AI demo user is created. Click on it and you will see this access key and secret key. So create access key. I need a command line one. I understand. Next. Tags I'm not giving, create access key, done. So now what we are going to do is we are going to configure it. So I'll copy this, come back here. AWS CLI is already there. That's the reason I have used AWS Linux so that we need not to install it. So AWS configure. It will ask me access key. I'm giving access key. Now I will take this screen away and I'll put the secret key and come back. Right, because it's the admin access and it will create issues if it gets somewhere. Or let me do one thing. Let me stop sharing for a couple of seconds and put the secret key here. Secret key done. Clear the screen and I'll come back. So I have just configured the access key and secret key, right? So AWS configure, right? If you do this, it will show you, see here, access key. I have kept a secret key also, right? The region, this. So you need to put your secret key here and don't share it with anyone, right? So the access key and secret key is done. Now we will come to the next part. Next part is our application. Now, ls. If you see here, if I go to static, you will see images and CSS. So if I do ls to images, there are 2 images there, logo and nix.png. So 2 images are there. And then this is the CSS. Entire CSS details will be there. So if you do ls, again it got copied. I need to delete that key. So ls css, see here, where the entire style will be there. Come back. Here you will be able to see templates. So we have two templates here, one for text.html and one for image.html, 2 pages, right? Now our main application is written here. If I do clear the screen and I do ls and I do come out of this, yeah, if I do move to this, you will see. So one is Flask and one is this. If you see here, we are importing functions, Flask function and these two functions. These two are the functions which we have defined in these two Python files, right? From this file, import this function. So this function is written here. Likewise, for image, we have written a function here, right? See here, we are giving it a name called app. And then there are two pages, two roots to it. One is slash and one is slash images, right? See here, if anything is coming, the prompt is coming, see here, right? The response will be like this, and that response will go to text.html. For image, things are coming, right? We are posting it, things are coming, returning the details to image.html. And finally, we are running it. Now this will run, again, a change will be required because app.run, it will run it locally 127.0.0.1. If you want to access it from outside, again, I'll just give a host path or host IP. Here I will give 0.0.0.0 to have it entirely open. Now this thing is coming from here. First one, see this text to text function, which is coming from here, and text to image function, which is coming from here. You can check it out if you want more. This, see here. This one. See this. Importing Boto3 and JSON. See here. Defining a function, this one, which we are calling there. And this is actually calling a service which is called Bedrock service. See this service name is Bedrock-runtime. This is a payload. Now this payload is actually coming, we have defined it from the documentation of Bedrock under the foundational models. Let me show you. Because if you try to create your own, you should be aware of this. So if you come to Bedrock, you will be able to see user guide. Just go to the user guide. Under user guide, you should see foundational model information, and you will see model parameters. Here, whatever model you are using, example, we are using Anthropic model. So click here, right? You will be able to see the details over here. Click, scroll down, and you will see a payload detail. See this. If you see this thing, this is a payload. The things which are coming, this is exactly the one which we have kept here. See this. Prompt, max tokens, temperature, and top P. It is actually coming from here. Prompt, temperature, top P, and max token to symbol. So you need not to remember it. You need to just refer to the API documentation of this. This is a request and the response will be generated. Likewise, if you come down, see here, once the response is there, we are dumping it in a JSON dump. And then the response is getting created by this model. We are using this model, Anthropic model for text to text. You can use Titan, you can use Llama, or whatever you wish to. Right? See here. Likewise, same thing is happened for your text to image. Similar thing. Here we are using base 64 encoding as well, right? And image counter so that 1, 2, 3, 4 things will come in here. See this same thing. We are checking it from the documentation, creating a payload, dumping it, and then taking a response back. Right? So this entire code is available. right? So these are the functions which we are calling here. Now there is one thing which we need to change, and that thing is pi text dot py, because this will run on localhost. So I'm not running it on localhost, so I'll change this. So I'll give host should be equal to 0.0.0.0, code close. And let's say we are running it on port number 8080. Again, better to put it in double quotes if you wish to, and debug is true. And debug is true just for reference. In production, we never put debug true. And save. Now it's time to see either things will run or not. So I'll just do Python 3 app.py, enter. See this. Our application started. Right? This is our private IP. 172.31.25.230. This is our server. Come back. See this. 172.31.25.230. This is our private IP. Now, if I take it, the public IP of it, if I take it, come here, port number 8080, we will not be able to see anything here because this port is still blocked. So we will allow this block, this port from anywhere in our case. So let's go to security. We will be able to see our security group, this one, right? This one. So what we will do is we will go here. We will edit the inbound rules and we will allow the traffic. So we will say custom TCP port number 8080. And let's say in this case from anywhere, so that you can also check either it is working or not. From anywhere. Usually we give a specific range here if you are creating it for internal purpose. Save rules. Perfect. Saved. Security group. We created this one. Custom port number 8080. Perfect. Let us come back and check now. See this. You can put this IP behind the load balancers, then behind the domain, and then you will have chatgpt.com enter and it will come here. Or you can put it behind a reverse proxy of Nginx, then put it behind DNS, all done. See this. All done. Now see here, this is text, this is image, this is text.html, images.html, and this is the entire, chatbot, which probably you can use, right? So this is the entire design which have been done. Example now, let's test this text to text. What is generative AI? Let's see. Enter. It takes time usually, but let's see. See here. What is generative AI? Generative AI refers to this, blah, 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 whatever. See here. Put whatever you want. What is Kubernetes? Come here, click. And it will process it and it will show you the result. Little slow, but anyways. See here, what is Kubernetes? Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration system for automating blah, blah, blah. See this. Likewise, let's go to images. I think we need to rectify something in images. Let me see. Let's say lion riding on bicycle. Enter. Processing is happening. Let's wait. See here. It is showing me an error. I was expecting it because we haven't created this directory. If you see here, static trash. it actually create all the images here, right? So we need to create this directory called trash under static folder. So if you come back, let me do Control C here. PWT CD static. Come here. You will not see trash. MKDIR trash. ls. Perfect. Inside this, it will going to create the images with 0.png, 1.png, 2.png, and so on and so forth. So come back again here and start dot. Enter. Super. Working. Come back here. Sorry. We'll go to images now, right? And here we will write lion riding a bicycle. Processing started. Let us see what will happen now. See this. It created a lion. Similarly, you can say generate an image of students in a college. Send. Processing started. It will generate an image. Hit the APIs. Get the things back. See here. Now, this background and other things are coming because I have used the same model to create such images. So if you are interested in some other backgrounds and other types, probably you can explore what all other models are available in Amazon. Even you can check it out, everyone, if you want to see. I don't know either this IP will be allowed or not, but you can just check either you are able to see this. So Ram, I have a question: is Bedrock for generative AI or also to access what is already present? So Ramya, Bedrock is primarily for generative AI. When you read the documentation, it will show, it will tell you actually, this is Amazon's generative AI service. It is different from image recognition. What we are doing here, we are not doing the analysis of this image. We are generating an image here. In recognition, we were detecting the labels, doing the facial recognitions, finding the people who are celebrities or not, and so on and so forth. But with generative AI, with Bedrock, we are not doing such things. What we are actually doing is we are generating new content, right? How to train the model with our data in Bedrock? I think there is a concept of agents in Amazon Bedrock. So probably you can you can check that, because that's the thing with which you can inject the data to the existing FMs, existing foundational models. So around agents concept is there. So you just check it out. Otherwise, when you select a model, there is something called custom parameters, which you can provide to a foundational model or a base model. And that is second thing which you can explore, which can help you to add your data in Bedrock. But usually the agent concept is there, which is used. So Kannan, very good question. How do we identify the best fit model for our needs? This need research. No one can tell that in a single go that this is a best fit, this is a best fit. No, that is the reason we have something called proof of concept, POC. So you need to do or carry out POCs on various models and then, explore which gives the accurate and best results which fits to your requirement. And basis on that, you need to select a model. So no one can tell you this is best, this is best. Even if they are saying it, they are just saying it, because that completely depends upon the testing which you have to do in order to make sure which model is suitable for your ecosystem. Perfect. So everyone, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this server and the key first. because that key is done. Continue. I'll come here. Security credentials. So I am deactivating this key first, which we have created for this user AI demo. See here, this is the first step you do if you are publicly showing anything. And then I am going to delete it. Enter the key. I need to copy it. And what I'll do is I'll come to the user and I'll delete this user. AI demo user. Likewise, I'll come back to this security group. Okay, I'll do it later on. Security group doesn't harm me much. I'll come to EC2 again, and we will delete that server also. Chatbot, come here, instance state, terminate. Right now, this is how we have used or we have leveraged the Bedrock for our own chatbot. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to actually use another chatbot. We will check another chatbot, which probably can help us to do the things. Now, what we are going to do here. The other one. There is another popular freely available APIs for Gemini, Google Gemini. So we are going to leverage this. Again, same thing. I'm going to have one server. Let's say I'll create EC2. Again, there will be a Python-based application, right? Which will going to give me the GUI. And this GUI is just for text-to-text conversion. I'm just creating a chatbot. Under the hood, this chatbot is integrated with Google Gemini. Right? So what I need to do is I need to generate the Gemini API also. And this API will going to bridge my chatbot with Google Gemini. And then I'm going to have a rest of the details here. I'm just going to do it for text to text, but you can do it for text to image and other things also. Right? So you can explore the documentation as well in case you wish to for Google. So if you come here, let me show you first. I think it should go now. Server is deleted. Perfect. So if you come here, you can just check for ai.google.dev. See this. AI for every developer, right? So if you see here, Gemini API, click here. This is the place from where you are going to create your API key. And then this is a documentation. So if you come to this documentation, you will be able to see the entire things. See this. Text generation, document processing, vision, audio, long context, code execution, right? These all things. But I am just doing the things on text generation. So the chatbot, which we are going to create, will going to do these things only. Right? See here, even they have given the things, which model you want, what all things you want. So you will be able to see the details. This is all Python now. See this. Interactive chat. So some of the examples are even given here as well, which you can refer. So I'm going to leverage this. And for this, again, you need not to do anything. Let me bring it here. Just go to my GitHub account, and you will be able to see this Gemini bot. And even I have tried to put all the things here so that you can use it as and when required. Even I can follow it in case if anything will be missing, I'll do it. I'll change it in front of you. Right? So I'm going to take this. Again, we need a server to do this. Let me create again a server. Launch instance, chatbot, Gemini. Let me use Ubuntu this time because we don't need to install any AWS CLI here because we are not integrating anything with it. I'm taking a latest one, 24.04, right? And instance type, let me take t2.small. I think it's okay. Key pair, it's already with me, so I'll use Mac test. Security group, you can create a new one or you can use existing one in case you are using same ports. So let me let's take the existing, or let's create a new one. Let's not create a confusion. So I'll come here, I'll give it a name called chatbot Gemini. So we have port number 22 allowed here, only port number 22. I'm just increasing the size of a disk from 8 GB to 15 GB. Launch. Sorry. Let it come up. Loading, pending. Let it come up, and then we will log in into it and we will perform rest of the tasks. The IP is allocated already. It is in running state. Copy, come back, SSH, -I, my key. The user will be Ubuntu this time and our server. Yes. Perfect. Clear. Hostname, CTL, set hyphen hostname. I'll say chat bot Gemini. I need to become a root first. Sudo -I and then run this command. Super. Change the shell and you will be able to see the name reflects here. Next. Here, I'll copy this repository. So git, I think it should be there. Yes. Git clone. Perfect. So we have Gemini bot. Come. Perfect. See here. So we have requirements.txt. So we just need Streamlight and Google Generative AI. Any version will work for us, right? Then when you do app.py, this is a place where the entire code has been written. Again, this code is only written for text to text, not for anything else, right? So if you see here, all of the details are here. Importing details, loading the dot environment, right? So taking this module, loading this module, importing other functions from outside, right? Come here, defining one function here, taking the environments, which is Google API key, which I told you we need. So we will create one .env file and do rest of the stuff. See here, right? Function to load open API model and get responses, which is Gemini model and get responses. And then we are starting our app. Likewise, if you come here, let me check if I have .ena. No. So nixbot.py, right? See here, this is where the rest of the stuff has been written. That how this application should respond. Whenever a question is coming to Gemini, how it should respond, what answer it should give, and where it should give. Right? So these are the two files which have been created. Now, what I'll do is I'll try to take this here. I have written each and every step here. See this. The prerequisites are you need Python 3.12 and you need a API key, right? So first of all, we will validate the Python. Luckily, we have 3.12 in the latest version. Otherwise, usually it comes with 3.9 or 3.10. So 3.12 with Ubuntu 24.04 is there. Next is this key. Now, how you can get this key is same thing. You go to AI google.dev/Gemini app, Gemini API, and you will be able to see this, get your API key. So you need to use your Google account and you can get the API key. I already have that key, so I'm not going to generate a new one. I'm going to reuse my own key, right? So this is the next step. Now, if you see here, right, link is here to get that key. So we are going to update the repository. Upgrade is not required, right? I'll just going to do update so that if we wish to install anything, it should be there, because we are going to do it in a virtual Python environment, not on the actual Python where it is installed. So we're going to create a virtual environment for that. So I'm just updating the repository first. Done. Clear the screen, come back, right? See here, git clone, we already did it, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yes, we already did this. So we need not to do this step. Come down here, see here. Now what we need to do? We need pip. So we need to install Python 3 pip. Then we are going to install a virtual environment. Then we are going to install virtual tool. And then finally, we are going to create a virtual environment. So we are going to do everything in this environment called Nyx. So you can have multiple environments within Python like this. It's called virtual Python environments, right? So I'm going to create a virtual Python environment first instead of playing around, because if it didn't work, we'll create a new one. So we need to install pip. So if you come here, pip is not there. See this, pip is not there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install pip first. Yes. Pip is Python installer package. So it's a package manager for Python. Done. All right. So if I do pip now, you will be able to see pip is there. Right. Next. So we are going to install virtual environment package. So copy this, come back, enter. Super. Done. Next is we are going to install the Python environment tool. Make sure this should be like this 12, 10, whatever version you are using for Python. Come, install, done. Now we are going to create a virtual environment with a name called Nyx. You can create it with any name. Enter. Done. Now closely see this particular prompt will change. This particular thing will change if I run this command, because I'm going to activate this Nyx environment. So if I source this, you will see Nyx, the name of the environment will come here. Enter, see this. So I'm in this Python environment, virtual Python environment now. So whatever I'm going to do under this environment. It's like virtual machine running on a bare metal. Come down, see here, requirements.txt. So there are only 2 requirements. And I haven't given any specific versions to it because it works almost right with the latest versions. So what you need to do is simple. Python install -r requirement.txt. Even you can do pip install Streamlight, pip install Google Generative AI. You can do it. the way we did in the last demo. So if I do it, super. Good to see that no errors are coming. Next, if you see here, we need to create this vi.env file. Now, if you go here in the application, if you do cat to app.py, you will see this. We need this Google API key. So we are going to define this variable. See this Google API key and Google API key. It will be replaced with this. So we are creating a .env file so that if we are pushing anything, it should not go in our Git repository. So I'm going to do vi, clear the screen, pwd. If I do ls-la, there is nothing called .env. So I'll create vi.env. Right now, again, I need to, I'll open it, come here, and this Google API key. I'll copy this, come here. So you can generate this key. As I told you, you can come here and you can generate it from here. I already have that key, so I'm just going to put that key here at this place. But for that, I'm going to again stop the sharing and I'll put the key here. I think I need to find it. Yeah, it's there. Because that key will be there with your Google account. Let me share it back. Right. So see here, I just created that key and that key will be there. So if I do ls-la now, you will be able to see things here. I'm not going to cat this because I am having my key here, right? So you can put this key here with this format. Google API key, which is a variable we defined in app.py, and then this. Next is we just need to run this command. I'll copy this and I'll start my application. Come back, clear the screen, ls, copy. If everything is okay, it should run. See this. Local URL, network URL, and external URL. This. So if I copy this and come to a browser, enter. Oh, 8501, we need to allow this port as well. So we'll go to security. We'll go to security group and we will edit the inbound rules. Add rules, custom IP 8501 0.0.0.0/0 so that it can be accessible from anywhere for the time being and save rules. So rule is there, custom 8501.0.0.0 inbound rule, perfect. So come back here, see this. See here, ask your question. What is generative AI? So see this. Now this all is coming from Google Gemini and it is all absolutely free. You need not to pay anything to anyone for this. See here. What it is, how it is used, blah, 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 all. Training, understanding, generation, see this. Are trained on vast data set, learning pattern, relationship, blah, blah, blah. Understanding, then generate the things. Text, image, audio, video are one of the best examples. ChatGPT is example, DALL-E, stable diffusion. So we use stable diffusion. See this, create images. The image which we created with the last demo was from stable diffusion. See here, DALL-E, generate images from text description. Jukebox, again, compose music. Benefits of generative AI, see here. Creative, innovative, blah, blah, blah. Challenges, bias and ethics. This is what you all are asking also. Potential for bias in generated content due to biasing in the training data. Misinformation can be used to create fake news and propaganda. Definitely. Deep fake is one of the best examples of it. See here, again, job displacement may automate tasks currently done by humans, raising concerns about job security as well. Definitely. Right? So chat history, blah, 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 all these things will be here. So you can type, you can ask other things also. What is Kubernetes done? So see here. Kubernetes is an orchestrator, blah, 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 blah. You can write, let me see if we can write a poem for me. See here, you can write a poem and so on and so forth. Now, this is absolutely free. No, you need not to give anything to anyone, any money, no, nothing. Everything is coming from free Gemini API here. Right? Now there are commercial aspects also to it, but you know, for a non-organization, for users like us, we need not to worry about it. It will be almost free for us. Right? So this is how the things actually work for generative AI when it comes to creating your own chatbots. We are also working, just to give you an glimpse, we are also working on one of the chatbots. Again, Gemini based, but it's still not yet completed. So if you see here, there is something called Nixbot. So we are working on it. So we are incorporating multiple things to it, voice, text, image, and so on and so forth, with proper authentication and all those things. Still in progress, right? So it is still in progress, but we are already working on such things with Gemini. Perfect. I hope these examples have just given you, where we can reach when it comes to generative AI. And it's not that hard. So you can, if you have any programming language exposure and experience, probably the GUI can be as attractive as possible, right? And rest of the things as well. So let me see a couple of questions. Generative model can be used for training, i.e. training with proprietary data, mostly text, as there are abundant generative AI modules or extracting efficient for training. Generative AI can be used for training. Generative model, yes. Training with the proprietary data, mostly text, yes. Mostly text or image also, music also, video also, as there are abundant generative AI modules or extractive module is efficient for training. See, when it comes to, again, always remember one thing. When it comes to already available models, they are trained on certain set of data. You need to mold them as per your requirements. So when I say mold them, it means you need to train them. And for training, you need extensive data, extensive training data, so that whenever you are deploying that model, it should be as close to the expectations you have. So either you are using a model from outside, the foundational model, or you are building it of your own from scratch. Once it is built, you need additional training and testing data definitely to tune it. But human intervention is still needed to train the models better, or still it is this the one-time approach and further developments are not needed, making job security very less since the GenAI is growing at a faster pace? Now it's a very good question actually, Surya. So again, the scientists, the people who are working in generative AI, they are trying so that machines can learn from the patterns itself, but it's not going to be as simple as it looks to be. So you need humans to further tune the models, further inject new type of data in the model, because data types will always change. The type of data which comes, no one can predict that. So definitely you need human interventions to train them and to develop new models. So definitely this process will be there. Automatic training of the model can happen until certain levels, but not up to 100% of level. That is for sure. Can we train custom data in Google Gemini and using Yes, you can. In anyone. It is possible in Gemini, it is possible in Copilot, it is possible in any other model, right? So you can fine tune this data, right? Next. Now the last part, the risks and the best practices, which again, I must admit that it's not easy, right? It's not easy at all. But definitely there are certain things which we should know. But before we do that, let me delete the servers and so that those servers should be down, because I have given the open access, which is not good. Terminate instances, close. This is terminated already. Perfect. So this is terminated. This is shutting down. We'll give it a couple of more seconds. Perfect. Everything is gone. Now let us come back here and let us understand about some of the risks and challenges. The first and foremost risk, which everyone have seen, is a fake content. AI can create a fake content that looks like a real content, which can actually cause a problem in finance, in politics, or spreading a false information, right? So the first and foremost risk is fake content. Right. This is very popular, you know, term in AI, that it creates a fake data. Yes, it's there. Now, the other one is risk in decision making, right? So when you talk about decisions in AI, right? Decision making. So can we completely rely upon the AI predictions to take a decisions? Let's say to build a new product, to increase our inventory, to change our strategy for sales. Can we completely rely upon them? You cannot, because you don't know the model under the hood. It might have certain issues which might lead to the wrong information. And it all happens because of something called bias amplification, right? So you can mold your models to be biased. Biasing is one of the major concerns with AI, right? So AI can give you a worst biases present in its training data, leading to unfair and false results. So this is something which is a big concern. Biasing, it's a very big concern in AI, because if you are training a model with the training data and that data is having a bias inputs inside it, it will definitely going to create the issues for everyone, right? The next one, the fourth most important one, privacy concerns, right? The privacy. And that is the reason, since starting, I'm saying don't use your original email IDs. Create a new email ID and then use that. Don't give your data to anyone, because AI uses a lot of personal data, which actually will definitely going to raise a privacy concern, right? So you have to be very careful. So we need to have strict, privacy laws so that we can prevent such information to be circulated here and there, right? And then the other one is accountability, right? Lack of accountability. Now, whatever data is getting created, whatever things are getting created, now we don't know, right? So AI decision making process is it's actually unclear. So it is making it hard to pinpoint the responsibility for mistakes. Either it is our mistake or AI's mistake. You cannot blame AI, right? So what data it have used, how it have used, and so on and so forth. And the one which again in a lot of discussions, copyright issues. Today you are generating a text. Today you are generating images. You are generating music. You are generating videos. You are generating many other things. You are creating poems and so on and so forth. Now tell me one thing, who is the owner of this generated content? Who is the owner? Some idea is there in my mind to create a video. I took help from generative AI. I created this video. This is a video, let's say video 1. Now, am I the owner of this? The answer is, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow AI, the tool owner will come and say, no, you haven't read my policies. It's clearly written, whatever data is being generated, it will be a proprietary data for me, not for you. This is one example, one of the examples. Another example, let's say there are two people. This is person 1 and this is person 2. They have given a same prompt, right? Same prompt. Let's say, can you please create an image of a cat driving a car? Let's say both have given a same prompt. And luckily or unluckily, the same image got created for these two, same image. Now again a clash comes. This image belongs to person 1, this image belongs to person 2, or this image belongs to a software, the creator of the software. No idea. This is a big question, copyright. Whatever data, now we say generative AI is to create data. Now that data belongs to you or that data belongs to someone else is a big question at present point in time. So copyright issues are there, right? So these are some of the challenges which we have, right? And in order to mitigate them, there is a term called ethical AI or AI best practices, right? So I'll come here. Let me write it before I go to the PPTs. So we have a term called best practices in AI, or you can say ethical AI. Very easy to say, right? But it's not easy to implement, right? Number 1, we need to remove the bias. If biasing is there, right, we need to, we will not be able to get the accurate and true results. This is where the ethical AI says you should have equity. The policies should come for fairness and equity. The second thing is transparency. How this data, from where the data has come, how data sets, from where the data sets have been created, how you are generating this data, what are you referring, and so on and so forth. The transparency of data should be there. Foremost, right? Just don't ask anyone to agree to the terms and conditions in order to use this tool. We should have strict privacy and data protection policies in place, and it will come from government, right? Or the governance bodies. So we should have strong privacy and data protection policies in place. And then finally, accountability. If fake data is getting created and it is creating a problem in the society, right, amongst people, then there should be someone to take the accountability for the same. So the tools in terms and conditions they write, you will be accountable for whatever things will happen, right? When it is good, then that is related to software, but when that is bad, that is related to us. So the accountability is again one of the biggest factors which should incorporate in the ecosystems, right? So these are some of the points which are in discussion. Now even you can write the entire book on ethical AI. You will see many books, right? But yes, the concerns and the mitigations both are going hand in hand, but till now the work is in progress. So if you come to this, right, if I come here, you will see this, the same thing which I was showing you. See here. So this is the first one, copyright issue, right? Two people, same prompt, same photo is getting generated. Who is the owner of this photo is the biggest concern. So fake content, biasing, privacy concerns, security concerns, risk in decision making. These are of the well-known challenges in AI. There are many other, right? Many other. So again, as I told you, fairness and equity, transparency, privacy and data protection and accountability. These are some of the factors or some of the governance rules which should come in place if we want a responsible and ethical AI in the industry. Otherwise, who knows, it will be used in a negative direction more as compared to the positive direction, right? So we cannot do anything for that. But yes, there are concerns as of now. So that's the reason whenever you're doing any testing, always remember, don't give your sensitive data to any AI tool, especially if it is publicly available. If it is for your organization, private, you have built it, okay, you can use it. But outside, no. Second thing is, don't use your primary email ID address, because who knows, your emails, your data in the emails and other things will be read. So you have to be very, very careful, right? Let me see, there are certain questions. Are there ways to identify or stop fake content or good enough to find that this is fake data? So now when you talk about this, I think yesterday someone have given Quillbot, right? So probably that is one of the tools where you can put that content and it will tell you either it is created from AI or it is not created from AI. But the authenticity still a question mark, because even we don't know either the data will be fake or not. I am curious on your take on singularity or AGI, Yogesh. Will humankind ever reach that level? If we go by Moore's law, the hardware limitation will soon hit us. Are we at AI bubble currently? Very good question. Huh. The answer is yes. And I'll give you one simple example. A month ago, there was one report which was published by the US authorities, right? The financial institutes in the US, they have stopped working on AI. They have banned everything in AI. They don't want the further development to happen in multiple areas in finance, right? So yes, I think truly saying AI is good, but too much AI is not good. Now, creating everything, right? Creating poems, creating music, we are actually diminishing everything which human can do. So I think yes. And I think someone have given the answer also, Xavier, according to Ray. Singularity is very near. His recent books talks about this in detail. Perfect. So I think you can refer that. Does feminism play a role in generative AI? Because nowadays everyone is using chatbots, so ChatGPT. So more or less data will be same, and we can easily say that they got this from ChatGPT. Yes, Surya, the time will come because now everyone is heavily relying upon the ChatGPT. Even I gave couple of tasks to my team and I asked them to complete that. They took 1 week, the entire team, and they come up with the things. And trust me that all was created from generative AI. All was AI based. And then I asked them to sit here with me. Whatever you have done in 7 days, I can do it in 7 minutes. And then they agree that yes, they have done the same thing. So I would say yes, the data will going to be recognized because data is same. We are just molding it here and there. Perfect. So with this, we are done with the entire session for generative AI.